Hi, I'm Alex Rothwell. I'm Chief Executive of the NHS Counter-Fraud Authority. So we're incredibly proud of our NHS. For many people, it's the most important institution in the country. This is an organisation that reaches into all our lives at some point. But providing healthcare to a nation requires a lot of people and a lot of funding. And that's why the NHS is one of the largest employers in the world. There's over 1.2 million people directly employed by the NHS in England alone, and the Department of Health and Social Care oversees one of the largest government budgets. And that spending is an investment in our health. However, we have a very capable and determined adversary. Fraud is the most prevalent crime in the UK. Whether you're a business, an individual, or a public sector organisation, you're more likely to be the victim of fraud than any other crime. We know public sector funds are attractive to people who want to steal. In fact, we estimate the NHS is vulnerable to £1.2 billion worth of fraud a year. It's less than 1% of the annual budget, but think of how that money could be used for patient care. That's why the Counter-Fraud Authority exists. We and our partners are experts in tackling fraud, bribery, and corruption. Sadly, there are people who want to take goods or services that they're not entitled to. And in an organisation of this size, we must also be alert to opportunities for people to commit fraud within the organisation. So our work is achieved in four main ways. We work to understand how fraud, bribery and corruption affects the NHS, because the more we know, the more effective our response will be. We prevent fraud, because it's far more effective to remove the enablers of fraud and take positive action before it's happened. We respond to fraud when it does happen through our investigation teams and our analysts. And we provide assurance that our response to fraud is robust through standard setting, loss measurement, reporting, and of course providing leadership and coordination. So everyone has a part to play in fighting fraud. Being vigilant and aware of the risks is vital. Knowing how to report fraud helps us to understand where our risks lie and act. And if you're in a specialist role, there are lots of things that you can do, like using fraud-specific risk assessments or undertaking proactive exercises to find fraud. And our website is full of information about how to go about this. So by telling us about fraud and helping us find it, you'll be making a huge difference, protecting NHS funds, which ultimately can lead to saving lives.